He does it the only way he knows how. With his massive sports brain sprinkled with a smidgen of rabble-rousing. Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Likewise, an old-fashioned...
All right, welcome back for the Connor Happer Show. You're on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Josh Hodson with you. Mike writes in.
Hi, Mike.
The key to a lemonade stand is put free will donation. My daughter once got a $20 bill for a cup.
Oh, wow.
Hey, you run the risk of getting $0, though, but who could walk by a child doing a lemonade stand and give them $0?
Absolutely.
I've heard of kids having credit card scanners or Venmos.
Oh my gosh.
Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
I mean, I guess it makes sense.
Well, of course it makes sense because people don't call groceries anymore.
It's an outdated term.
Josh, should we check in with our president and see what's going on?
Why not?
But likewise, an old-fashioned term that we use, groceries. I used it in the campaign. It's such an old-fashioned term, but a beautiful term, groceries. It sort of says a bag with different things in it. Groceries.
I don't care about any of the politics of it. It's just a
shut up, everybody.
It's just a hilarious quote.
That's what they're calling it. Bags with things in it.
It's like the exact opposite of Kevin from The Office. Why use many word when few will do?
No, we're actually going to make more words. I forgot about that. And I very much liked it. Very much liked it. You know what is also back, according to Stibbs yesterday? Pokemon Go.
Yeah, Stibbs has a lot of questions about Pokemon Go.
Well, he was worried about his lovely neighborhood of Benson. And apparently he found a calendar where each Wednesday night throughout the month of April, maybe this is an ongoing thing, each Wednesday night, people are invited to the Benson neighborhood to search for Pokemon. And I said, search for Pokemon? Stibbs, Pokemon aren't real. But he said, no. Do you remember about a decade ago when they were doing the Pokemon Go? And I said, yes. I remember asking JT Barrett about it at Big Ten Media Days. And then he's like, yeah, I guess they're still doing it. And these are adults. So Wednesday, April 2nd is Pokemon night. Wednesday, April 9th, Pokemon night. Wednesday, April 16th, Pokemon night. Wednesday, April 23rd, Pokemon night League Challenge.
League.
And April 30th, a Wednesday, is also Pokemon night. And then they also have on Saturday, April 19th, the Pokemon League Cup.
There's a cup?
People are still doing Pokemon. Pokemon Go. What do you think?
I mean, so on the one hand, it's completely harmless, and you're getting video game players outside.
It's not completely harmless.
It's not?
No. Because these people are walking around aimlessly and blind.
Okay.
With their cell phones out. They could be walking into the middle of the streets looking for Pokemon.
But they would normally be in their mom's basement, like just playing video games. So I guess it's good that they're outside.
No,
but
it's not better that they're outside. If they're outside playing video games, it doesn't make it better. You're still playing video games. If I just took my television and moved it into the backyard and started playing video games, would that make me a better person? No, it wouldn't. It really wouldn't. It'd make me feel different. It'd make me feel cooler, but you're still playing the video game.
Okay, so I think you're right. I just really didn't want to outright make fun of these people without couching it just a little bit.
No, we can. It's okay.
Nerds!
Why are we doing this? Adults, apparently. Adults. Oh my God, we have the clip, by the way.
A clip?
I'm gonna get this up on.
What is this, Leno? I heard you brought a clip.
I'm gonna get. Nice. I'm gonna get this up on the stream as fast as I possibly can. But our friends from Husker Hoops Central has just tweeted out the video of Gus Johnson. Talking about what Andrew Morgan is gonna do after college.
Thank you, Husker Hoops Central.
So I'm gonna get this up on the stream as fast as I possibly can here. But yeah, I'm fired up for it. Let's see. Let's call this that. And all right, Josh, are we ready to pull up some video?
Born ready.
Okay, so let me put up Andrew Morgan right here. All right, here we go. This is Gus Johnson on the Crown broadcast last night talking about what Andrew Morgan is going to be doing after college.
Morgan said after college he plans on returning to the family farm to grow corn and soybeans.
Nobody was moving in that clip,
Corn.
but I heard shoe squeaking.
And soybeans. I wish he would have really gussed it, to grow corn and soybeans.
Well, it wasn't a very competitive game, so he didn't have really a chance to get into it.
36 seconds left in the game. Nebraska's just running out the clock, and he had to drop that absolutely beautiful fact on us. Thank you, Husker Hoops Central. We appreciate that. The Omaha Food Fight is in the championship round. The Omaha Food Fight, presented by Union Bank and Trust, I should say, is in the championship round. We are down to 2. And it's created some conversation.
Sure.
We are going to start a dialogue.
If you're upset about who's in the finals, it's your fault.
Yeah, you could have done something about this a long time ago. Oh, I can't believe my favorite restaurant would lose to this restaurant that stinks. Well, sorry.
You're just like all those other people when a restaurant closes, like, oh, how could that restaurant close? It's so good. Well, when was the last time you've been there? Like 12 years ago?
I really liked it, though. I just like that it was there. It's like, no, you actually have to support it.
Yeah, you got to support what you love.
In the final, we have the Drover, an Omaha staple, versus Broncos hamburgers, an Omaha staple.
Both staples.
I have more recently eaten at Broncos than the Drover, but people are incensed about this. They're not happy. And like you said, Josh, you could have affected real change. You didn't. It didn't have to be this way if you didn't want it to be this way. Frankly, I have absolutely no problem with the final being the way it is. I have no issue whatsoever. None.
I abstained from voting because I know that what I say carries weight. And I didn't want to
really?
I didn't want to put my thumb on the scale of justice.
So you are not throwing your support behind either of the two candidates right now?
That's right.
Even though you could affect the... Why don't I'll say... well...
There's no write-in vote. You can't vote for me.
Could I just tell... Because the Wooden Award is getting announced right now. They just released their top 5. I could tell you who I voted for.
I think I know who you've probably voted for. But go ahead.
I didn't vote for Ryan Kalkbrenner.
Okay, then I don't know who you.
Well, I didn't put him number 1. I put him like number 4 or something like that.
Wow.
What? What's wrong with that?
Thought we were doing this for Ryan.
Well, I thought that most people would have him probably lower than that. I think I voted for Cooper Flagg. So I tell you who I voted for in that. You're very bold. I always vote for the winners of the award. Voted for Zach Edey the last 2 years. Guess what happened? He won both times. So I could tell you who I'm casting my vote for here.
Yes, please.
It's not a shout. It's not a shot.
It's not like the Heisman where you're not allowed to say.
Vote for Broncos.
Oh,
vote for Broncos.
Vote for Broncos.
I'm not saying vote for Broncos. I said I'm voting for Broncos.
Okay.
I voted for Broncos. So if somebody's out there like, ugh, disgusting, you have a chance to counter my vote right now at 1620thezone.com. The Omaha Food Fight, presented by Union Bank and Trust, is up, and the championship goes through the weekend. Through the weekend, ladies and gentlemen.
We will have a champion.
Yes, we will.
And hopefully that champion will send us many delicious steaks or burgers.
If Broncos wins and then they just bring us a giant pile of burgers, groceries,
it
would be the best show.
What's that thing that Random Mike asked us?
Oh, the big kahuna or whatever it was? Or...
No, that's from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. What do you say? You ever got
the big Bronco?
The big Bronco from Big Broncos?
It's like the first time he ever called us.
That's right. Yeah. You ever had that? It's like, no, I just usually get the number 1 or the number 2. I never got the chicken from there, but people said that the chicken's pretty good.
Chicken?
Yeah, they got chicken.
Didn't know that.
They got chicken. All right, Josh,
Connor.
I got a question for you. Are you going to cancel Nebraska baseball today?
Are we doing this?
Yeah, we're going
Or
to
is
talk
this
about
a tease?
No, we're going to talk about Nebraska baseball for the next 15 minutes.
Okay.
And or maybe 10, who knows. But 10 to 15 minutes, we're going to talk about Nebraska baseball. And then we're going to talk more about Nebraska baseball with Bruns coming up in a little while. But they led by 5.
They did.
Against the Omaha Mavericks last night. Omaha Mavericks have been on just a wild roller coaster of a spring so far. Haven't really been close in any of their Summit League games, but have beaten LSU and K-State. And now Nebraska.
For their 9th win of the season.
Nebraska is 3-9 in their last 12 games against Creighton and Omaha. Have lost 5 in a row combined in those series. I guess 4 of them now to Creighton. And it's generally not going very well. They walked 12 last night. They were beat by Creighton on Tuesday. They were beat by Omaha last night. They're 2-7 in the Big Ten. They did find a way to beat Vanderbilt this year and competed with LSU for a little while. That seems like it was a long time ago. What do we do with Nebraska baseball? What do we do with, every year it becomes about this. What's the expectation for this?
Gotta host a regional. Gotta host a
You have to
regional.
host
Start the year ranked.
Do you have to host a regional every year? Was it an unfair expectation of this team to be able to host a regional or, whatever? But what's amazing to me is, I think the main culprit of the inconsistency over the last couple of years now has been offensive up and downs, right? With the bats. Last year, kind of up and down, found their stride at the end of the year, and were able to win the Big Ten tournament and make the regional. Got some clutch pitching performances, obviously, in the Big Ten baseball tournament last year. 2 years ago, it was a team that hit the ball out of the yard a lot. They had a couple, professionals on their team, and Max Anderson and Bryce Matthews. Those guys aren't there anymore, but they were able to find their way last year. This year, it's been more down than it has been up. Also, another thing that is now happening, and this is a recurring theme in the midweeks where Nebraska just has not really been able to put it together, is just can't find any traction on the mound. On Tuesday, they threw out pretty much all of their best bullpen arms, and so they weren't available on Wednesday. And then there was a giant swath of bullpen arms that they threw out yesterday against Omaha, and nobody could find the strike zone. It's going so bad for Nebraska right now that Max Butenbach stepped to the plate and thought he was going to get smoked in the head, had his bat behind his back, and the baseball hit the barrel of the bat, went straight forward, and he was thrown out at first by like a half a step. It's going horribly. When it's going bad, it's going bad. And it is most certainly going bad for Nebraska baseball right now. The vibes are awful. Awful. Nothing's going really right. On the other hand, Josh, as we lay out the case here, it is baseball. It is baseball.
It is baseball.
And there is time. You can pick things up. And yes. Making the Big Ten tournament. Like, you're not going to host a regional at this point. That is gone and out the window long ago. But you could still be competitive in the Big Ten Conference. Got to start winning series, and you got to start winning them in a hurry.
Only 7 left.
But there is time. But what kind of information do I have right now to predict that Nebraska is going to go on this run where they win, where they go even greater than 500 in Big Ten play? I don't have much to go off of at this point. But it's baseball, and there's ups and downs in a season. Less so in college baseball, obviously, than there is in professional baseball or Major League Baseball when you look at the entire AL Central and you say, well, they're 2-4 right now. That's how it's going to be the rest of the year. Well, there's one team that's not going to be in that conversation for very long. How long will they stay in there, though? That's a question. So we've had some time to to think about this. We've reached a pretty crucial point. Also, these two games the last 2 days, albeit against rivals and games that you want to win and teams that have perceived lesser talent than you. Perceived is the key word there. They are just midweek games. Pretty well exemplified by like Creighton's season last year, where they go undefeated in the midweek, but then they couldn't find a way to get enough weekend wins to even get themselves into their own conference tournament. Nebraska struggled in the midweek last year and won their conference tournament and got second overall in their conference in the regular season. So things could happen, but we are at an interesting inflection point right now. Are we keeping them alive or are they canceled?
Connor,
Yes.
I have diagnosed the problem with Nebraska baseball, and it is very simple. They only play well when the team they're playing against has one of those teeny tiny little numbers in front of their name, and people are watching and they're, oh, pay attention to me. Pay attention to me. We're playing a ranked team. I'll do good for you. I promise. I promise. Not a lot of those left on the schedule for the last place team in the Big Ten Conference.
Are they literally last?
They are tied for last with Ohio State. Nebraska baseball is canceled.
Wow, you did that.
Front runners.
I want to kill myself, jump in the cold and die of frostbite.
There's no Vanderbilts left on the schedule. There's no Oregon States left on the schedule. There's no LSUs left on the schedule, even though they lost that game. Omaha didn't.
Well, they did.
Well, Omaha won one of them.
Yeah. They also lost.
Omaha got more cracks at Nebraska. Iowa, they're a road series against Iowa leads the Big Ten Conference. That could go well for Nebraska. I mean, that's really about it.
So oftentimes it becomes a bigger picture topic with that team. Because it's getting close, but Nebraska baseball's most prominent run of success happened more recently than Nebraska football's.
People forget,
right? Nebraska football is like, man, that was in the 90s, and they've changed coaches a lot, and obviously a ton has changed with Nebraska baseball. But it wasn't that long ago where they were at the top of the sport, and they were at the top of a very different conference, and all of those things. And the expectation when Nebraska moved into the Big Ten in baseball was that they were just going to run roughshod over the conference. They were going to steamroll the entire thing. I legitimately thought that there was a chance that they could go undefeated. I'm like, this is going to be crazy.
Cake.
Yeah. And it wasn't that easy. And congruently, Nebraska's program fell off from a talent perspective during that period of time and has kind of found their footing. But I mean, the run that we're in right now, like, you tell me, Josh, let's go to the Will Bolt file at the moment. So he's in his 6th season, really his 5th full season. Let's not count 2020. Regional, right? You push Arkansas all the way to the brink in Game 7 of the regional in 2021. Great season. Win 34 games. Season number 2, you did not make the Big Ten tournament and obviously did not make the regional, 23-30. 2023, you're back in the Big Ten tournament. It doesn't result in a regional. Last season, regional appearance, Big Ten tournament champions, 2nd place in the Big Ten. And then this year, so far you're 2-7 in the league, and you're on this crazy run of losing to all your rivals. Like, if you snapshot that 5 years, it's 2 regionals, but this year has not obviously been decided yet. But if it is a season in which they don't make their conference tournament again, you have to count. Let's just say it is, just for the sake of this discussion. 5-year snapshot, 2 regionals, 2 no conference tournaments.
In my mind, that cancels out the regionals.
I kind of think it does too. Like that should be, in my mind, that should be more of a needle mover than, like, I just don't know if there's, as a one-off, you say after 2022, and I remember saying this, like, come on, you can't miss the Big Ten tournament. I guess you get one of them, but come on, you can't miss the Big Ten tournament. And
just like basketball.
we're talking about baseball now.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about baseball. Come on, you can't miss the Big Ten tournament. I guess we could treat it as a one-off right now, but that is a really, really bad look. And then they bounce back and they're in play for a regional the next year, and then they make a regional last year. Like, if you're doing what should be a standard season in Nebraska baseball, it should be a heck of a lot closer to the NCAA tournament teams. I don't think that they have to make an NCAA tournament every year. Obviously, you'd prefer it. But
if you start the year ranked, it would.
Yeah, but Josh, I just don't know if
I get it.
I don't want to do that.
I get it.
Because in baseball, we just don't we do this every year. It's not a good. It is only good from the perspective of, here, this is what you were last year, and this is what you have coming back. But we know that's not really how. That's not how it works. Like
A&M was number 1, and they're like a 500 ball club. Right
we just shouldn't pay attention to where they were picked in the league, in my opinion. Like, let's go results here. 5-year snapshot of 2 NCAA tournaments and 2 missed Big Ten tournaments is a really, really hard thing to swallow. In my opinion, it's a really difficult thing to swallow. And I just don't think the lows should be that low. I don't think that the lows should be that low.
I genuinely mean no offense to Omaha when I say you can't lose to Omaha.
And
that's not a good baseball team.
And I know, I don't know how much higher the highs should be, because people love to dream about that and hosted regionals and all that stuff. And I think it's really tough to put that together if you're a Big Ten baseball team. So, making the NCAA tournament, maybe you can get yourself to the step of a 2 seed or a competitive 3 or, something like that. But, get yourself into the NCAA tournament. That's closer to how it should look. And I don't know how much higher the highs are than that. That it shouldn't be the expectation anyway, but it's got to be higher than missing the Big Ten tournament. But I think more functionally and from an everyday basis, it just, it when you see it, and it really just shouldn't look how it looks right now. So I don't know what that is. I don't know why it's the case.
Well, it was their 3rd game in 4 days, Connor.
Everybody plays baseball a lot.
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
Interesting.
It's not. I don't think their talent is a whole lot worse than the teams in their conference. I don't think their talent is it's definitely not a whole lot worse than the teams that they're playing in the midweek, if at all. But at the same time, I don't know how much better it is than any of those teams either. People look at Creighton and they're like, oh man, they should be beating Creighton. Like, their talent is not that far apart from each other, to be honest, just from how I see it on the face. So I don't know, maybe it's the wrong cocktail that has been put together this year of they don't have a ton of talent, and then they're missing the identity part too. So it's not a fun time right now.
Which of the 3 high-profile men's sports has the largest disparity between fan perception and reality? Baseball, basketball, football, obviously.
Oh boy. I don't know how much Nebraska ball fans expect outside of making the NCAA tournament, and that's not a crazy thing, right? I think the rational baseball fan, the common baseball fan would say, just let us be competitive and make the NCAA tournament. I don't think that's irrational. And maybe football is like, hey, it's probably football still.
Okay.
It's probably football still. But I don't know what's gone wrong, but it's sideways at the moment. They got to find a way to pick that thing back up.
Baseball?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you got Rutgers this weekend. That's a shot. It's at home.
Every game's a shot. Every game's a shot.
Every game is a shot, yes.
Johnny Mills in.
Hi, John.
It's good that there isn't a crown for college baseball. At this point, Nebraska wouldn't make that. It's not pretty. Not pretty at the moment.
Got to get it real hot real quick.
Yeah. All right, more on why with Michael Bruntz of Husker 247. He'll join us on the other side right here on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.